Evening. I'll be mentally right with you, just finishing a thought experiment that I have. Hmm. Hello, welcome to our stream. Can you hear me? Hey. So, if anybody was here for the last stream, we finished the. I mean, finished. That's really an interesting word to use, I'd say. Uh, we kind of did this, and it kind of, I don't know, pretty much looks okay. Great. It pretty much looks okay, but I'm not happy with it. It has it has a flaw that cannot be fixed with leaving it like that. So I would very much like to move on, but first we need to tackle the elephant in the room, which is the front suspension. I'm still not happy with it. So uh, I let me explain what the problem is. Well, okay. So this front knuckle, this guy, we have raised it. We have raised the upper ball joint by half a stud with the help of these cam pieces. Evening, with the help of these cam pieces. But yeah, exactly. Redo now. So the problem is with the suspension travel and the geometry. So when the suspension is at right height, which is about this, and it travels up, the camber changes, which is what we want. That's perfectly all right. The problem is when the suspension drops. You see, when the suspension drops, the camber changes in the same direction as if it went up, because the relationship between the upper wishbone and the lower one is not correct. Now, we did this setup because we thought it's easier, because otherwise you see there's a one stud gap here between this guy and the frame rail here. This means that it can come to right height, and when it compresses, you see, when it compresses, it has room to compress. That's why we created this top uh, thingy here. But this has been bothering me for quite a while. And another thing is that if we could, uh, I would really like to have the whole structure here one stud lower. Uh, this would free up a lot of space up here, and we could do something better in this area to connect it to the rest of the chassis. Now, I've been thinking. So, this is the same situation. I recreated the geometry of the chassis here. So, when the car is at right height, which is about this, the wheel is upright. Now, when the suspension compresses, the camber increases, which is exactly what we want. That's perfectly fine. And now, when the wheel drops, the camber needs to decrease. You see, it needs to kind of go in, uh, and this guy does it. But the difference is that the you see the on the wheel, the bottom ball joint and the top ball joint are 5 studs apart, and on the chassis they are now 4 studs apart, which is exactly what we want. So we want this setup, not the one we have, and at the same time we don't have to use the nasty oh, come on, camera, focus. Come on. Okay. We don't have to use the camshaft, crankshaft pieces to get the half stud offset, which makes all of this stronger. Now, this means that we have to re-engineer the frame rail part. This guy here is already dropped by 1 stud, but now, of course, we have this issue that the suspension, the A-arm, see, the A-arm needs room to move here. So we need to do something to have a connection between. Oh, come on, camera. We need to make some connection here, but it cannot intrude anymore. It cannot intrude into the engine bay, because then it's going to interfere with the steering box. So a lot of issues, but I think I got it solved. I think I got it solved ish. Need to do some more thought experiments. That's why I'm doing this. Yeah. Come on. Focus. So in order to have a connection between these, we need to see about what to do with the upper wishbone so it doesn't interfere here, because as it is now, the bottom wishbone and the top wishbone bone both interfere with this guy. But if we use something like this to provide us with a half stud offset, then it would not interfere with either the bottom one nor this one. And that's what I'm going to try now. The top, this will get changed slightly, but let's see what let's see what we can do. So let's get this apart, and this and this. So now we're just going to use the top one here, and this. I just hope that the upper wishbone is going to be kind of strong enough, but yeah, should be. Well, you see, observe, it's in progress. uh, I make extensive use of pins. I hate axles because everywhere you will use axles, you are going to get slack. So don't use axles in your suspension wherever possible. That's the rule number one. If there's a top tip I can give you, it's that. As you can see, I'm using just pins. Everywhere here are pins. Pins. Solid connections. No axles. And even this, as it is now, is pretty stiff. At least the top wishbone. The top wishbone is very stiff. The bottom one, of course, it's just for geometry. On the real car, it's going to be sturdy. Okay, now that we have this, we need to connect these guys. Let's see how sturdy this is going to be. Hopefully it's going to be sturdy, but you never know, because every time axles are involved, and there are going to be involved here, every time axles are involved, the connections are not stiff. So see, there's, come on, yeah, see, there's slack in those, but let's put it in and see if this slack even matters. Okay, first problem, of course, this guy is already interfering with this. So this is exactly what we don't want. Would be perfect, but again, this guy is interfering here, and this guy is interfering here. So back to the drawing board. We need an axle, or I mean something that goes here in the middle. This way it's not going to interfere with either one of them. Now what to do? That's the $1,000,000 question. That's the $1,000,000 question. I hope everybody is up to speed, by the way. Either by watching the other streams or just looking at the pictures of what we had made so far. I was hoping to finish this before the stream, but no time. What to do? we need something in between here. That would be so perfect, but something here. I'm open for ideas, by the way. I am thinking hard, but right now I'm kinda lost, to be honest. Okay. One idea. One idea. Okay. Let's see if this has any merit. Okay. If we use this. How long is this? Okay. One, two, three. Three. I'm not trying to engineer. See, we need a connection here, because right now this is very weak. But this is the front frame rail of the car, and we need to replace all of this with our new stuff. So bear with me. You've missed the beginning, and I really don't want to explain it again. But you'll see. It's a much improved version of what we have before. Okay. We are going to do something with these guys. Not sure yet how. Come on. How good it will be, if it will be good at all. But okay, one, two. Here we have. Okay. So what I would like to do is to have this guy here. But of course, first hurdle, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. What about this? Well, what if we have this guy here? Okay, so this is going to work, but then again, it's not, because then it interferes with this. Yeah, I'm working on the new front suspension of the Charger. Thinking of, I don't know, something needs to be done here. I'm pretty sure there is a solution that solves this. Somehow we need this guy to be in the middle here, not on the studs, not here, in the middle. I mean, not necessarily this guy, but just something that does not interfere with either the lower or the upper wishbone. That would be perfect. But what? That's the $1,000,000 question. Would be perfect. My God. I mean, if a part existed, that would be basically these three guys. Basically, a part like this. That would be the perfect part for this job. Unfortunately, this part does not exist. Now what? Now we need to think outside the box, I guess. I don't know. No. Axles are out of the question. See, it has to withstand those forces, so axles are completely out of the question here. If it was axles, it would have already been done. We would be completely on another subject. But axles are just useless here. And a part like this sadly doesn't exist. But I'm not going to glue anything because, of course, as we promised, no gluing. This is a stream with unmodified parts. This guy also isn't appropriate because it interferes here, here, and here. So it's useless, pretty much. No, I trust me. I wished for a part like this to exist for eternity. It has to be in line, not angled. So it must not interfere with either the lower or the upper wishbone. If it's like that, it interferes with the upper wishbone. If it's like that, it interferes with the bottom wishbone. So it needs to be in the middle. Uh, the problem is, you see, that there's things here, particularly the steering box, that will greatly interfere with anything here sticking out more than it does. So that's why we cannot move it further into the engine bay, and the engine bay is small enough as this, so it's not going to happen. But there must be a way. There must be a way. This was the old. This was the old version, but of course, here at the bottom, it interferes with the bottom suspension arm, so this cannot fly. That's the problem. That's going to be a tough one. Well, I'm not going to waste the whole stream by doing this, so I'm going to work on this later. Um, yeah, but you see, that would just make everything so bulky. You see, I will work on this off stream, and then I'll present it to you. Because we are just going to waste a whole lot of time just thinking about this and not going anywhere. So let's put this aside. We have a car, so the front end, which in its basic proportions is not going to change. So let's move to the rear of the car. We have a lot of work there, so I'm setting this aside, and let's move on. See, this is what we have. I suggest you in the previous stream, at the bottom of the previous stream, there's a link to pictures of this. So download the pictures and look at what we have. Then you will probably understand the situation a little bit better, without me wasting a lot of time explaining every single detail. Um, one of the reasons I want those rails to be lower is because wait a minute, let me just count stats. 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 6, 7. Yeah, okay. So this is the level of our hood. See, that's the hood, and I want these guys to be at one stud lower, so we have a little more room under the hood. Getting them one stud lower will increase the space we have here dramatically, especially because I think the V of the engine will sit here, and the V of the engine, or basically the heads, we want to make them like push rod actuated and stuff like that. So I would like to have more room than is available now. And of course, the suspension geometry, I want this to be better. This is, I don't know, for someone else this might be acceptable, but the geometry, I don't like it at all. So I also played a little bit with panels. So this panel here, of course, is going to be, come on, it's going to be our fender. It's probably going to look alright. Looks a bit silly on the stream, but yeah. I mean, come on. It's gonna be alright. Okay. Moving on. So now that we have this part of the car, come on. Okay. Fine. Yeah. We have this part of the car. We are moving backwards. This is the footwell. This is the tunnel. And now we need to slowly approach the rear of the car. We know the dimensions it needs to have. The rear suspension, of course, is already built, but none of this stuff that's around the rear suspension is anything more than just a placeholder for us to start making it into the rear of the car. So let's check again how long the wheelbase on our car is, and then we're going to make a rig so we can come on. Where are the dimensions? Yeah, so there we go. The wheelbase of the car needs to be 45 studs for our scale, which is 1 to 8.4. Okay, so 45 studs. Let's see. Well, come on. It's going to be, I don't know, something like this. Let me remove these. Now that we have something to build on, we can make it more accurate. Okay. So 45 is 15 studs long lift arms plus 15, no, 3 15 stud lift arms. Exactly. It's 45 studs. Okay. So let's make the lift arms. Yes, I'm still planning to use it for the remote control part. We are still going to use to make a model engine for the car. That's not remote control, of course. But yeah, my plans for it are to have it electric, so I can play outside with it. That's the fun. So okay, so this is our 45 stud wheelbase. Made it out of 15 stud, 15 stud lift arms, just so we know exactly where the wheelbase needs to be. And as you can see, or maybe not, there's actually not that much room here, which is fine, because here in the back is already the rear bench, and the seat is going to be, I don't know, somewhere here. So our first order of business is to create a mounting point for the rear leaf springs to the chassis, so that we have some connection to front and rear. And then we're going to make the rear frame rails that go over the leaf springs. And of course we need to then think about the sides and the rear bench. We need to see where the rear bench in the car is located, because the back of the rear bench is going to be a structural part in the car, and it's going to be like in the E30, angled like the bench, and it will connect directly to the side of the car. So it's going to be kind of a cage here for structure. And because we need that, because then the C pillars will go from this area, and this needs to be strong. I have no idea what I'm going to use, to be honest. I was kind of disappointed with the S brick. I don't know. I have not tried any other options, so we'll see. I am actually counting on you guys to make suggestions what we should use, and which motors, which remote control setup, so that we have the most power. And I don't know, speed is maybe not that important, but yeah, some speed. I don't know. To have fun with this car, make videos. I don't know, and of course, the whole setup will be the whole construction of the whole setup will be live streamed, so you can build it at home. That's the point of this. Okay, so I need yeah, I need one of these. So I think we have room for one more here. Let's see. No, we don't. So we need this guy needs to be 7 studs, right? Let's steal one from the Land Rover. Let's steal one from the Land Rover. It doesn't really need it. I don't know. So it has. Oh god. Keep in mind that there is going to be a gearbox. How do I even? Oh my god. Yeah. See, that's the problem with Lego. In order to get the rear seat bench out, I would need to disassemble now. Oh my god, yeah. I would need to disassemble half of this car. So no, that's not gonna happen. So we'll have to somehow go along without that. Yeah. Wait. Oh, of course. Okay, let's continue without that. Since this is really not that much of a structural part. Hey Anton. Yeah, we might do that. We might do that. Okay. This is what? Oh, we need a 13 stud. Yeah, that's gonna do it. First start lift arm. It needs to be. And yeah, we can join it here. We can join it here because this is where the door is going to be, and there's room to join them. Perfect. Okay. Oh, come on. Okay. So now we need to see where the center of this is. Yeah, like this. Oh my god. Okay. Sorry for being quiet. I'm just taking now some visual measurements to see where we're at. Okay. Okay, let me just mark it. Let me mark it so we can build from here. Okay, that's the correct height. Yep. Exactly, that's the correct height and everything. Okay, we can work with that. I'll just support the other side with something. Okay. So now we need to now the first order of business is to engineer ourselves something to mount the front mount points of the leaf springs. That's what we need to do first. And then once that is done, so we can eliminate this shit, we move towards the rear. So what are our options here? Well, in the real car, there's basically, like in the front, two subframes where each of these mounts to. Let's take a look for inspiration. I always like to reference the real car. Okay, so the leaf springs mount here in the real car, and we need to engineer something that's going to hold them. Okay, not exactly like this, but okay. So all of this, come on, again. So the structure we have here going on is just temporary, so we don't need to really use this as it is, because the structure here will connect to this guy or something else, and go on from it. So independent of this, we can mount the lower, the fucking leaf spring with something that would fit the rest. But I think these lift arms are good, and we are going to extend them here and mount them to this. And yeah, we are actually going to use them, but not the same like this, because our bodywork, or our rear bench, because here is the rear bench, it's going to go vertically, and then it's going to have just a slight kink around the rear axle to make room for it, and then continue as it is with the rear car. So all of this structure here is going to disappear momentarily, and we are going to do this. Yeah. Let's turn the car around and see what options we have of connecting this guy directly now to the chassis. Okay. So what we would want is to make some sort of connection here. Okay, so now we can get rid of this. Oh, come on. Ah, of course. Of course. It's like this. So so what kind of room do we have here? Not much, to be honest. Not much, so we need to use this guy and this guy. Yeah, like this, because I think that what kind of room do we have here? One stud on each side. Yeah, that needs to be here. Okay. So basically that's our approach. That should be our approach. Yeah. now extend it, or oh god. Okay, here we are. Here we are. Okay. One, three, four, five. One. Okay. I think I know how we're going to do this. It's 4. Bear with me here. It's a bit tricky. We're actually getting to the point where the object that we're working on is so big that not all of it fits into the screen. Something I had not actually anticipated. But here we are. Worked out. Okay. And then we have, yeah. Okay. Let's see what kind of length we need to here. So if this is 4, 23, yeah. I'm not into guns, so never ever even wanted to play with guns. Oh my god. We are connected. Who would have thought? So that looks blimey. We're actually, I made it too short. It needs to be 1 stud longer. Okay. No, 1 stud longer. Okay. No problem. There we go. That's 45 studs. That's 45 studs. Now I can take our ruler away, and we have something resembling frame rails. Of course, everything is still a little bit wobbly, but that's going to change soon. Now the main purpose of our frame rails is that we have a length and something to build on. I think we are going to improve on this and make it quite more optimized once we get the outer panels, once we clean this up. So let's go ahead and clean this up. We want as much interior space as possible. So if we want to do that, we need to have the rear bench area as low as possible for as long as possible. And as far as I can see, there's perfect opportunity to use more of the frames. So the earliest we can start rising up here is here at the beginning of the leaf spring mounts, but these are a little bit too big. These are too big, and the problem is that I think I don't have any more. I do. Let's see. I have a white one. Okay. So problem is that it's too large. So this is a no-go. That's a no-go. Oh, I have an orange one as well. Oh, I have more of these panels than I thought. Great. I'll take them out because I have a feeling that we are going to maybe need them. Maybe. Okay, so we are going to slim the middle tunnel by 1 stud, about, I don't know, here. And then we're going to continue so it's 5 studs, wide here. And we are going to have it slimmed down to 3 studs. Because the cardan shaft, so the drive shaft, does not need more than 3 studs. For this I'm using these. So I'm going to extend the cardan, the middle tunnel up until here, and then we are going to slim it down. Then it gets 3 studs wide here. Something like that. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, there may be a more efficient way of slimming it down than using these, but right now I'm fine with those. We can always change them. Okay, so I'm going to install this guy on top of the shaft, just so that we keep the dimensions, nothing else, so it doesn't wobble anymore. Okay, now let's see, how wide is this? How much room do we have here? So I guess this guy here, come on, oh look, it's good enough. Oh, come on. So we can use 2 more here. There's room for 2 more. Exactly room for 2 more. Not sure. Yeah, there's no room for them lengthwise, but there is room for them like that. So that would make a nice flat passenger compartment, I guess. Okay. Not sure how they are going to mount here. They basically have no support, but they are going to mount here, here, and to the part of the center shaft. But this is going to happen from not from underneath. We're going to, what are we going to do? Well, they can mount here with another single connector. Oh my god. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. There's nothing to it but to do it. Okay. Where can they connect here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So here, 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 and here. Come on. Okay. So this is like that. Okay. Let me replicate this for the other side. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's a lot more solid. There we go. Ah, okay. Wait a minute. It's gonna be easier if I mount these beforehand. Okay, so these guys are gonna be here. Okay, and these two at the back. Going to use this. Not the best solution but maybe we can go without it later on. Right now I'm just going ahead to use it, and once we have more of the car built, which is going to give it more strength, we can see if we can basically be without some of those connections. Okay, now let's see. Now we have to connect it here and here and press here and here. Okay, that's better. That's much better. Okay, we have still work to do here. Okay. Okay, here we need to leave room for the leaf spring. So we have to leave the one stud room here, and we can go up here. Now what to do here? Let's see. So the drive shaft, as it seems to me, is low enough. It's pretty low, but we need to basically have frame rails that go, of course, from here up here, and we are going to reinforce them with a lift arm that goes out of here to the back, simply because we can. This is going to give the whole tunnel a little bit more strength. So let's turn this around and see what we can do here. Okay, so let's zoom in. A couple of issues here. This guy here, the bar needs to be removable, because we remove this and then the whole suspension can go out. If we somehow do something here, something funky, then it can't. But we can use a different bar. Something that is tiny bit longer than this. A teeny tiny bit longer, which is going to allow us to build something like this and then go on. So we would install this guy that would sit somehow like this, and it would be actually better even to grab it, pull it out, and then you can pull out the suspension. And this is what we're going to do, if you like it or not. So we're going to do it like this, and then this. Yes. .5 length bar. That's what we're going to do. No, you can't. The problem is, you see, the rocker panel is going to extend here. So here, where the bar exits, it's going to be the rocker panel. So this is going to be impossible. So we have to insert it from the other side. So from this side. And this is how it's going to work. No pin here, because if we insert another pin here, this is going to be just too hard to force it out. Antenna 5, I don't know. This is okay. I mean, you can change it for yourself, or maybe even we will change it. This is just temporary. I don't know what's going to happen next. These are not instructions. We are engineering as we go along. So bear this in mind. We need to see what's going to happen, and there's so many stuff still that we need to do this that we need to do here. Always when engineering, you have to keep in mind many things. Like right now, okay, right now the problem we have here is that, you see, these guys are not attached to anything here, so this is able to move freely. Okay, the panel here will not really provide much other than, I don't know, support for this not moving around. So we need to engineer somehow some support here for it. And this is going to be quite tricky, actually. Quite tricky, because we cannot attach anything here. And these mounting points are all too far away. Something needs to be done here. Exactly here. Something like that, perhaps. But the problem is the stuff here. I don't know how the antenna parts look. I only have these two. So this is I think this is a 6 stud bar, and this is a 5.5 a 6.5 stud. Something like this. These are the only ones I have. There's this, of course. This is of course too short. But I don't know. Yeah, if it was longer, okay, maybe a longer version exists, and I don't know about it. Could be the part that you're referring to. But for now, this is fine. At this moment, we're going to live with it, because we still need to engineer something here to attach the plates, the bottom plates here to the frame rail. This isn't going to work, of course, because there's actually no way for us to attach this. There's a blue three stud long a pin in there. Yeah, I can't. because then this isn't going to be strong enough. That's the problem. But I'm thinking what to do in this case. Let's turn the car around a bit to see what's happening here. Maybe there's a sort of inspiration here. Okay. Okay, let's see. Let's see what Leon sent us. Come on, Facebook. Don't be a bitch. It doesn't load. What a surprise. Let's see if it loads on the phone. My god. What is wrong with the internet? The stream works, but Facebook won't open. Okay, finally. Yeah, see the picture. I don't have one that is that long. But yeah, one could use it. One could use an antenna like this, no problem. I'm more concerned with the problem here. No, it's all right. Okay, so we need to address this. We need to address this. I want this to be, see, this to be bound together, not flapping around like this. And what to do here? What to do? Because the problem here is that yes, we are going to have frame rails. I mean frame rails. We are going to have a side panel here. So the quarter panel that goes like this, and of course this is the frame rail that goes to the back. But this needs to be connected, if you want it or not. I'll just temporarily put a side panel here, just so we know where we're at. So yeah, this is our side. Okay, the 7 stud piece is missing here. I don't have it, but or I have it, but I'm not willing to disassemble the Land Rover just yet. Okay, this guy. What's on this side? Yeah, okay, this guy isn't connected either. So, granted, this guy is going to be, I think, it's going to be connected. No, it's not. this guy isn't going to be connected to the side. Okay, so this means that we need to rethink this. So we have no way of attaching anything here, so this guy needs to go, and we need to now work out how to do something with this guy, because this guy allows us to connect stuff. Yes, of course, the roof is going to make everything absolutely stable. Okay, I mean, here we can have, first and foremost, we can have it like this. So this guy, then what we can do here, of course, yes, then we can connect this to this via the proven method that we have used in the last build, which also provides a lot of strength. Namely these guys. So like this, we have these guys here, but of course I'm going to use the three stud connectors like this. Of course we're going to connect something here, and we can have it like this, and this is going to be strong enough. Let's fit it in here. Fiddly. I'm going to take a look at them in a moment. Just let me put this in. Okay. Of course. There we go. And now we can attach the whole shebang here. There we go. Now that's some strength. That's a lot better. See? This is now connected. And if we repeat this on the other side, connected as well. But let's take a look at what Leon sent us. Oh no, and Anton, sorry. Yeah, no, that's not strong enough. This is strong enough, and we can build on top of that. Yeah, maybe not like this, but yeah, we're going to replicate this on the other side, and then see what we can do. So this guy is out. Keep in mind that just like in the front, all of what we're doing now is still subject to change, like everything. But we have to do something just to have a baseline, and then when we have stuff here, then we're going to be able to see what needs changing. But until we have at least something, it's really hard to judge. I mean, I see potential for improvement right now as we are talking, but first we need something. And then after the whole car is done, we can, I mean done, the whole structure is in place, we can then revisit all of this and see, oh, here, now that we have, now that everything is stable here and strong, now we can see, oh, we can change this or this or this. This is a process that also happens when Lego designers are designing the vehicles for sale, of course. Uh, Maybe it happened a lot more intensely in the past than now, but that's the process that we need to go through. Okay. Not accusing Lego designers to be sloppy or anything. I just think that sometimes there's just no time for doing too much testing, because the product needs to be on the market as soon as possible. And the windows of market introduction are much smaller than they were. In the past, you had models that that were on sale for, I don't know, for years and years. I remember the first the black car chassis that was on sale for like 8 years. That's unheard of today. Okay, now that's much better, much better. Okay, very nice. Let's move on. So um, now we need to destroy this, because we're going to use none of it. It's right now it's past its usefulness. Off it goes. There we go. Yes, of course, this guy needs to vacate the premises as well. Now let's see what we can do here. We could go in like this. We could go in like this. And then we need to see. I think we need at least 2 studs room. We need to leave at least 2 studs of room for the leaf spring to go up and down. So 2 studs. So 1, 2. Yeah, it needs to be like 5, right? So we're doing it like this. Okay. So this leaves us with how much? One stud. Okay. Okay. Let's go through with this and see what we're left with. Okay, so ideally as close to the wheel as possible, of course. Okay. Now again, I'm experimenting, nothing more. Just experimenting to see what's going to work and what's not going to work. Maybe nothing of this is going to work. Okay. For now, I'm going to do it like this, just to see where we are. This is really dirty engineering. Let's see, I will have to reposition the camera or push this a little bit more forward. Otherwise, you're not going to see anything. Okay. See? So I'm now just trying to see what I have to work with here. So this needs to go one stud higher, like this, I think. Yes, exactly like this. Okay. And let's replicate this on the other side. The batteries for the car, of course, are going to be under the trunk, like in the real car. So we need to keep this in mind and leave room for that. Okay. Let's keep this as straight as possible. So now I want to test. Whoa, this is all wobbly. Yeah, so the room that we have here between the axle and the frame rail should be about enough. It's, from what I can tell, it's a stud and a half approximately. And should be enough, to be honest. If it isn't, we will re-engineer it. I don't know, but this, I mean, even geometry wise, this is okay, because we have so from the bottom of the chassis we go 5 studs up, and this is the 5 stud level, which is perfect. Now, of course, what we need to do is to see where the rear bench ends, and where we need to have the let me engineer it for you so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so you see here, somewhere here is the rear bench, and we need to see um, where the rear support for the bench is, and then we of course are going to make, like in the I made in the E30, we're going to make the front of the bench out of panels. If we can, I would do this at an angle that's supported by fixed Lego lift arms, so we can have these guys really fixed in position, and the bottom and the top part already forms the panel that goes to the trunk, and of course to this panel the side panels are going to attach to. So this, it's, since it's a unibody, there's a lot of structure in here, just as in the front, but in the front we still need to deal with it because the front is not finished. So let's take a look at some pictures. Ends basically, I mean it starts, the upholstery starts where the rear window ends, and it's almost, I wouldn't say it's vertical, but it's, let's say it's a few degrees of it's angled a few degrees, and we can see there's no inner fenders visible in anywhere here. um, so let's say that the seats as such are about, in our case, maybe 1 stud thick. So this upholstery is 1 stud thick, and now we need to see where this window ends, and then go 1 stud to the back, and then we can have our seat upright, or whatever you'd call. But I would still like to see a picture of the, oh god, of course it's a pretty small picture as usual. Never a good picture when you need it. Okay, here you can see very nicely what is hidden behind the side panel. So see the C-pillar structure. There's nothing else, of course, because the panel binds to this edge, of course, uh, and then to the rocker panel, and to the inner fender, and all of these are structural. Small picture. Do we get any pictures? Frame rails that we are building. that are going to the back. And then we have the inner fenders are problematic with Lego. We're not going to do the inner fenders the way they are, but these are going to be partly built with frames. So I suppose the C-pillar is about where the rear wheels are. We'll confirm this in another picture later. And there's, of course, the brace behind the seats. We're going to have this filled with panels to make a better structure. And of course here the side panels, to which then the outer panels mount to. I'm not sure what to do about the side panels. I think we are going to make them out of panels, of course. The 5x7 panels, which we have enough of. Okay, but yeah, as confirmed, there's a big structure here between the C pillars, and we are going to basically make the C pillars together with this structure. Oh my god, there's so many things that are interconnected here. And the roof, and the A pillars, and the C pillars, everything is so connected. As is usually the case in unibody cars. For this, we are going to make, I mean, our roof, the roof on the real car is sloped, but we are probably not gonna do that. Okay, yeah, the roof slopes very slightly to the rear, but we are not going to do that. So, but there's a few clues that we have here. So one of them is that the edge of the window ends exactly where the fender line is, which is a very good clue. So we go a little bit, let's say two. I would go 2 studs further to the back, and then start the wall, the rear wall. That's what I would do. And the C pillars, I would do as simple as possible, and then have panels as structure, because otherwise this is just not gonna work. We cannot do structural C pillars in this shape. And I think that's, yeah, I mean, Dodge made structural C pillars, of course, because it's sheet metal and they can press it, and there's no problem. But yeah, we have a clue here. So we know exactly where this line is, and then we can go 2 studs further back, and then build our seats here. And the front seats, of course, end approximately where the door jamb is, as seen here, which is also a nice clue. And we know exactly what this dimension is. Oh, come on, where's the picture? Here. See, we know that this is 9 studs long. So we go from here 2 studs further to the back. And the roof, we know where this is 10 studs, and another 6 studs is the end of the roof. So we'll make a fake B pillar to have a roof. And the roof is going to float in the air until we finish this part here. I guess. Okay, so let's translate what we've seen on the pictures now to what we have here. So this is the line, and then 2 studs further back is where we start our come on uh, seating area. But of course, I'm going to use frames for as much of this as possible. Let's see. Oh, they're even clear. Okay, I can use a frame here. That's good news. And I will. I'm even going to use it vertically. Let's see. Let's make some calculations. So the frame is 7 studs high. This is 5 studs, and we have the baseline for the side of the car here is 10 studs. So this is not gonna fly like this. I have to put it like this. Like this. It's gonna stay here for now. And one on the other side. Okay. And now there's more frames to come. See, this is the area where that's the area where we are going to build the rear seating area. Yes, they are original Lego wheels. They are from the Batman, from the Batmobile. There was a Batman tumbler also that came with them. Okay, that's too much. This goes. Ah, crap. It's the other way around. There we go. See, this is going to be partly fixed by what we are doing here, partly fixed by the side panel. I mean the quarter panel, which is going, of course, is going to bind the rocker panel with this, and of course partly with the roof. So this isn't going to be present in the final vehicle. So this should be, yeah, this is nice. But of course, this is nice. But now that everything is together, I'm already experiencing I'm bumping basically into it. Okay, so yeah, I mean, yeah, the tunnel will now meet the rear section here somewhere, and it'll end. So yeah, we'll see, we'll see. Um, but I see right away that the rear suspension, now that it's a little stiffer, the framing around it is a little stiffer. I can see that it's bumping already against the frame rails, because of course now I can depress it a lot more. So of course, which this means that it needs here, it needs one stud more clearance. Lovely. Why can things not be simple? Okay, so we need to make clearance here for the rear suspension. Um, this is nice. Okay, let's take the wheel off and see what the problem is. Oh. I'm all ears. Please make either a LDRAW file or whatever, or pictures. I'm all ears. Right now, we need to focus here. So, see, there is room, but the problem is that I very quickly, depress this enough that it bumps onto the chassis, and we cannot have that. So we need one stud more clearance. Nutella is awesome. So we are going to remove everything that we did. Okay, no longer needed. And now for this. That's no problem. Again, our trusty method of raising stuff by one stud. This, of course, very simple. We need, of course, 4 of them. But there's another, a better pre-dinner snack. Um, Al Natura, they produce an excellent uh, hazelnut cream with what's it called? With coconut. No, I don't. I don't use Lego CAD software because I really prefer to do everything hands-on. I get much more satisfaction out of that. And of course, when you do this hands-on, you also see where all of the uh, where you still have room to do stuff. Yeah, cheesecake was awesome. I love cheesecake. Hmm. Okay. Now, how much room do we have on the other side? Where does it need to go? Hmm. Okay. I think that's the room we need. There we go. And here we can continue with whatever we had. Al natura, yeah. But lately, a friend of mine from Belgium sent me speculoos spread. Speculoos, I cannot tell you enough. Speculoos spread is the shit. That's that's drug level. Speculoos spread is the best ever. It's even better than the Al Natura stuff. Oh yes. Do not try at home if you don't want to get diabetes. Speculoos spread. Google it. There's basically just one manufacturer that I found on Google. Um, Speculoos. Speculas. Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. So that gives us enough room, and even if someone wants to lower the car, that's plenty of room to even lower it. So I'll call this a day. That's nice. That's good. Of course, we need to re-engineer this, but let's tackle one battle at a time. If you ever, if you like Belgian cookies and stuff, then specula spread is absolutely for you. I eat it with a spoon, of course, as one does. this. This stuff. This is so good. This is amazing. If you have the chance, do try it. I am currently on a diet, so there's absolutely no sweets for me at all. I need to get back into the shape that I want. So it's training every day and no chocolate, no sweets. Yeah, the cookies are great. This is even better than cookies. There's two variants. One is smooth and one is with chunks. I tried the smooth one. The friend from Belgium is bringing both versions to Germany next week, where we meet. And yeah, I'll have to wait 2 more months till I can try it. 2 more months is my diet. So yeah, but it'll be at home, so it'll wait. Doesn't have legs. Nobody's gonna eat it other than me. Okay. Very well. Now let's see. So, what's the top? What's the highest that we can do it? So I would go if the start of the hood, let's say the hood is at 10 stats height from the rocker panel. Let's say that our the rear deck of the car here between the C pillars is 1 stat higher, which I think would be safe to assume. No, 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 not that, just not for eating 2 jars of it, not at all. I need to go on a diet because I want to be back in the shape that I used to be and I want to be. So I have a friend who is a nutritionist and a fitness guru, and we work together a plan on how to bring me back into the shape I want. So now I have to stick to the plan, and the plan does not include any kind of sweets or carbohydrates other than vegetables. So I have to stick to the program if I want results. So I'm sticking to the program, and results are already visible. So I'm happy. And the results are more important to me than eating some cookies or a jar of the specula spread. I mean, priorities. Okay, I wanted to 11 stats. We said 11 stats. We have one of these 11 stats, don't we? This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, that's our measurement. So this is the bottom. This is the top. So this is the highest the side of the car is. So on top of the wheel, where the muscular swing is, this is 11 stats. That's the highest part of the side of the car. Now let's see. Okay, that's great. So we can have this here, and then the top deck, the deck, we have then black on top of here. Okay, we can live with that. We can live with that. It's a bit too much inside. I would prefer it to be here. Can it be here? I think it can. I think it can be here. Come on. There we go. Let's repeat this on the other side. There we go. Of course, this is just a placeholder, because if the car is black, of course this needs to be black. This is on top. So right now it's going to be gray, but our car is going to be a harlequin until I order all of the parts in black. So yeah. Something like that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe this guy needs to go. It will be something. I will see. Keep in mind that I'm already thinking of the side panel and everything here. Okay. As we have seen in the pictures, there's also inner structure to the rocker panel, and we need to recreate it, of course, because the inner structure is going to connect to this and create part of the rigidness of the frame. So let's do it. Of course, first we need to do something about the floppiness of this. Let's see. Of course, everything I do now, since I do not know what Leon is about, maybe we're going to need to completely redesign this part here. This guy doesn't need to be here, but we need to somehow fix this. I would prefer it if we would move this guy one one stud closer to here, then we can use the same stunt that we used here. But of course, that would change this guy. Now, what to do? Again, tricky. And I do not want to use I do not want to use these, because this needs to be really strong. What do you mean? Like, I mean, like this or like this. If I use it like this, the problem is that this guy here will be too low. This is going to be too low, and it's going to stick. It's going to stick out here, if this is what you meant. I don't really know what you mean. Look, if if we put these two, if we put this two into this guy, like if I just imagine, if I just stick it on, the problem is that this is going to be then one stud too low. It's going to be one stud lower than a rocker panel, and I do not want that, because this is going to completely destroy this line. So this is as low as we go here. Yes, yeah, but that's a compromise that I do not want to make. This is fine. This is just going to make everything look awkward, and I do not want that. That's exactly what I wanted to prevent. That's why this is flush with the bottom. Keep in mind, what we're doing today is going to be rebuilt, just like we rebuilt the front a few times. This is also receiving rebuilds. So we just have to now make a base structure, and then we go on from here. Okay, so let's find a solution for this, and then we are going to mount this guy to this on both sides. This is our mission for today. Then when we're done with this, we can call it a day. So in any case, we need to readjust this. Or can we even? No, we even can't. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What can we do? We have this guy. He's eager to accept something. He is eager to accept something. And we have, luckily, a nice spin for him to accept. And we need to think about what to do with this. Ah, look at that. Okay. Okay. That's nicely solvable. Okay. You see, we have this guy connecting this guy this. What if we remove this guy and use a longer lift arm for this? Problem solved. Then we have much more, many more options. So we do it like this, and now suddenly there's room for our handy little extender in here we have used before. This is just a building technique that I find very handy. May not be to everyone's liking, but I think it solves a lot of problems. So oh, there we go. Suddenly, now we need to connect these two. There we go. Okay, now let's see. I'm putting this in just to get a feel of where everything is. Okay. Because what I want to do here is I want to put something here that goes up. Well, I have to be careful. Okay, yeah. It can go just here and here. So just two studs. Okay, it goes up. Now what? Now I can, yeah, that's not gonna happen because this guy is too wide. Of course, it cannot be here because this is where already the top of our bodywork is. So we need to work from this reference point. Okay, and if we work from this reference point, what do we get? Okay, that's doable, I guess. Still, it's too wide. This guy is too wide. What if we use this. Now this guy has a problem that it sticks out too much, because then we cannot make the rear bench. Ah, nothing is right. But then again, what if, what the fuck, okay, what if we use the help of these guys? Very nice. Very nice. I'm happy with that. We can work with that. We can work with that. Let's see. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. They don't have to be extremely stiff, you know. Right now, the only thing is that I want them to push this to the back. Only thing. Keep in mind that the C pillars are coming here. The tunnel is going to reinforce this, and in the grand scheme of things, there will be enough. Okay, so now we have the perfect opportunity that we can stick something here and combine it at the same time with this guy, and of course combine these together, which we are going to do. So let's see. This, what's this height? This height is it's 9 studs, if I'm not mistaken. It is 9 studs. How convenient. It's 9 studs. So I'm using this. The red axle goes in here. Oh, come on. There we go. Where did I miscalculate? Okay. Okay. So no, it's not stiff yet. Of course, we have not used any angles or whatever. I'm just playing to see what works, where we are. So you can see there's a nice there's a tub forming here. So basically that's the interior space of the car. The front seats, of course, are going to end somewhere here, because this is where the uh, the door shut line is, and the incline of the seats is going to be somewhere here. Oh, come on! Somewhere here is the incline of the front seats, and then this area here is the rear seat. Of course, the rear seat is small, even in the rear car, and the proportions here look pretty much what the rear car has. So I'm happy with that. Okay, this is so much stiffer than it was, but now let's see what we can do about that, because it's not stiff enough. Let's see if we can utilize these guys somehow to good use. Maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. They are too tall. But something else. But keep in mind that there's side structure coming here. So basically, we're going to have 9 studs. 1, 2, 3, 4. 9 studs. I don't know if we're going to go like this all the way to the door, and have just one 9 stud beam here somehow and this is going to be somehow connected. I don't know. Now the triangle panel, I mean, this is good enough. We need to engineer something with this. Yeah, maybe. But I would prefer, I mean, this is okay, and I would prefer to have something stronger here, because here, this is the end of the side. So here is the door. That's the door area, and this is where the reinforcement is. This is fine as it is, and we make something here because we have more room here. You know, something like this. And this is already the perfect perfect place to place the doorstop. So all in all, that's not bad. That's not bad. Just to remind us where that's the length of this part of the rocker panel, and this needs to go this needs to go. We'll see how we're going to deal with this. Probably a combination of 7 stud panels and something else. Okay, now let's recreate this on the other side, because this side is already pretty solid. This side, not so much yet, but this is going to change very quickly. So it's minor. It's this, okay. There we go. Almost resembling something solid. Almost. So, again, the time has come to end the stream. I am a little bit drained, but let's talk about, before we conclude, let's talk about some challenges for the future, or for the next stream. So first of all, of course, we need to address this thing and rebuild the front. That's the first challenge. I will do this off screen, and I will basically present you with what I've come up with. Then the next challenge that you guys even are not even aware of. Okay, let's take a look at the rear suspension. Maybe if I do it like this, it will be more visible. I'll take this away. Okay, so we have the rear suspension, and now see, this is where we apply power. Watch what happens when I apply power. So basically, I'm spinning the wheels, and can you see how this is being tilted? I'm not tilting it up myself. I'm just applying power, and as I do, it tilts up. This is a phenomenon that occurs in the real car as well. Real muscle cars experience this as well, and it has to do with leaf springs. Not in our case. In our case, the same effect is being caused by the half shafts, or the half axles, this part twisting, because it's Lego and it's softer here. In the real world, the leaf springs here bend. So this is a challenge that we also have to address. if we want the car to be remote controlled, because this is an effect that is not really desirable. There's a couple of ways to combat this. Some people, I mean, in our case, we cannot use the example of real life, because in real life, what people do, they basically attach bars here, and then there's a rubber part here, and then when the axle does the twisty bit, this guy touches the leaf spring and prevents the axle from twisting. Now, in our case, the axle is twisting here, not in the spring. So the solution for this problem is going to be different in our case. Anyway, that's it for today. I will make tomorrow. I will make pictures of what we have done. Don't know when exactly during the day, but at one point during the day, I'll make pictures of what we have done. Post them online, and the next stream is probably going to be Saturday or Sunday. I cannot promise you, but the next stream we have a good base, and you will have all the pictures of what we have done, so you can compare them to last time, and try to build what we have. Saturday or Sunday, I'm not sure. Sunday the stream, we will definitely have a stream as usual Sunday evening, but Saturday, I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe not. Depends on whether a friend from Croatia comes to visit. Anyway, guys, see you in the next stream.